I'm not really sure what I'm going to title this video, but if I had to guess right off the top of my head, it'll be something like overdosing on black pills. Um, it's been a while since I've uploaded. Last time I checked, it was like 3 months ago. I had it in my head that I was going to, start cranking out videos and becoming a YouTuber, and I think we all have that desire, or at least a lot of us who spend a lot of time in this space to, become a YouTuber, gain a million subs, become famous. And maybe I'm projecting, but it seems like a lot of us have that idea, but often the reality of it is that there's only a small minority of people that actually strike it big and become YouTubers, or not even become YouTubers. They make enough revenue to support their lifestyle on YouTube. Only a small minority of people do that. There's literally millions of channels that upload daily, have decent editing skills that never ever get watched just because for some reason they were never picked up by the YouTube algorithm gods. And that's unfortunate. Can't really say anything. I'm more or less the same. I mean, in 3 months, my video has only gotten 21 views, so can't even be mad. Thanks to the 21 people that took the time to watch that. But that's neither here nor there. I'm kind of getting off topic. So going back to what I was saying, there's no script for this. This is all just free form off the top of my head. But going back to what I was saying, overdosing on black pills, Um, I mean, there's tons of black pills. There's black pills on dating. There's black pills on relationships. There's societal black pills. There's all these harsh truths that like we refuse as a society to like acknowledge, but are nevertheless true. And if you hang out in these spaces long enough, you'll obviously pick up on some. So a lot of people are biological determinists. They believe that we don't really have any free will outside of our genetics and our environment. It's all just predetermined code, numbers, zeros and ones, essentially. But I don't even know where I was going with that. Like I said, this is a freeform video, so bear with me. But just I don't know, just being in this space, it takes a drain on your mind. It's really hard to keep a positive mindset, and I think that not necessarily the space makes people negative. I mean, it definitely has the capacity to, but I think it draws in people who already have a negative mindset, and it kind of caters content towards them, like first joining this space, like everyone has their reason for joining this space, but I first got introduced to the red pill, PUA, all that, because I was having, dating and relationship issues. I think if I remember correctly, I Googled, why doesn't my girlfriend want to have sex with me? And you got all these tons of videos that pop up on like 5 tricks to make your girl instantly attracted to you, and this, that, and the other, and then you get sucked in, but I think what leads someone from the path of blue pill to the red pill to the black pill is basically the success with the advice that they're being given. I think a lot of the advice that the red pillars give are just some of it's common sense, but some of it's it's not specific towards the individual. Like, we all have our own different personality structures and substructures that, cause us to function and act in certain ways. But, it's not really individual. It's catered towards, the lowest common denominator, the average man, if you will. And these videos are supposed to help you attract the average woman. But kind of looking at it a little bit more in depth, like, why would you even want to attract the average woman? You know, high body count, promiscuous, man-hating feminist. I mean, that's definitely an exaggeration. The feminists are in the minority. I think it's what, like 24%, or not even a quarter. I'm not even sure. I don't even have the statistics on hand. I'd have to look them up. And to be honest, I don't even feel like it, because this video is not really even about that. I'm just trying to voice my thoughts, you know. But I don't know. Going on from that, like I said, the success that you get with the advice you're given is going to determine like which path you take through all these pills. And I think a lot of it helped, like coming into this, like I wasn't as socially calibrated as I could have been. I tend to be, or I used to be very condescending. I can still come off as somewhat condescending, and that isolated me from a lot of my peers just because of the way that I talked down to other people. So learning social skills and being able to communicate with people, that definitely opened up a lot of avenues for me. I feel like a lot of the opportunities that I've gotten in my life has just been based off my ability to communicate with people. And one of the things that allowed me to communicate better with people was, like I said, you know, getting introduced to the red pill and reading a book that was recommended to me, I believe by Stefan Molyneux, I could be wrong, but called How to Win Friends and Influence People. But it kind of broke down like the basics of social interaction, social dynamics, and how to be a more likable person and how to foster better relationships, essentially. I think that book is tremendously useful, and anyone who struggles with socializing with other people, like, I'd give it a read. You know, you've got nothing else better to do. If you're listening to me right now, you literally have nothing else better to be doing. But nevertheless, I digress. But moving past that, you know, like, I tried to implement a lot of these red pill concepts into my already failing relationship. And listen, if your relationship is already on the rocks, no amount of PUA, no amount of red pill, no amount of blue pill, anything is gonna save your shit. It's fucking over. You know, at worst, you're slowing the descent into the abyss. But the shit's already done. You're just slowing yourself down from the inevitable conclusion. I'll have to make a whole video about, you know, how messy my breakup was and how much that affected my mental health and my relationships with women going forward. But again, that's neither here nor there. But implementing those concepts, I think some of them worked short term. I'd say the vast majority didn't, but some of them will work short term, like paying less attention, you know, getting her to, you know, emotionally invest instead of being like invested in her all the time. I mean, this is really just common sense, like, at the end of the day, like, if you really think about it. But it didn't work. Eventually we broke up, you know, and I got into MGTOW, or men going their own way. And I have a lot of sympathies for the movement. I mean, I definitely don't think it's a bad thing. I think they point out a lot of truths. I think they have a lot of good advice to give. I have no hate towards the MGTOW. I used to classify myself as one. And I mean, I guess to some extent, I still am. I'm not at the stage to where I just don't interact with women entirely. You know, like, I can still have conversations with women. I work with women. I live with one of my female best friends right now, who is a woman, you know. So I'm definitely not at that stage. Like, and I still like, you know, hook up with chicks and talk to them occasionally, you know. So I definitely wouldn't classify myself as a MGTOW anymore, but I have a lot of sympathies to not the movement, the philosophy or the ideology. But I got really big into that for a time being, and I tried to, you know, just work on improving myself. I was hitting the gym. I was running like 3 miles a day. I was on the keto diet. I lost like 20 pounds. I was talking to like multiple chicks, you know, like, well, I guess it wouldn't even be MGTOW. It was like MGTOW mixed with PUA. I'd say I was trying to spin plates, you know, spin plates and go on dates. And let me just clarify, I'm an average dude. I have a slightly above average height at 6 foot, but I'm an ethnic male, so that's already a strike against me, and I don't really pursue women of my own ethnicity, so there's always going to be issues with that. But I'm trying to spin plates, as they say, and I just I kept running into all these hurdles. Like, the women that I was dealing with in my age range had really ridiculous standards. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, right after I broke up with my ex, I asked out one of my coworkers. She was like this fucking 30, damn near 40-year-old woman. You know, I asked her out for my birthday to take her on dinner, and she politely declined my invitation. Like, it's rough, you know. Like I said, I'm an average dude. I feel like I'm going, you know, like, bottom of the barrel, right? Like, and she's a nice lady. Like, I don't mean this disparagingly, but in terms of attractiveness, I could easily have done better. But that's being shallow and superficial. But she rejected me, right? And that was fucking brutal. But politely, she set me up with her niece. You know, we actually shared the same birthday. She was turning, I believe, 21, and I was turning 22. And I invited her out on this this 5-star restaurant that I frequently like to visit, you know, with some of the girls I go to, because at the time, like, I still do, and I was making, you know, decent salary to be able to afford that. And we meet up, and like instantly, like, she could just, like, oh man, this is I'm gonna get sidetracked to death. I'm trying not to get sidetracked to death. But she saw me, and like, we looked at each other, and we just instantly knew, like, yeah, hey, this isn't gonna work out. You know, instantly. We talked for like a little bit. She gave me like this awkward ass hug. But there was no amount of red pill PUA that could have saved me from that interaction. Like, as soon as we made fucking eye contact, this shit was over and done. Never had a chance, never even began. Like, that was brutal. She worked 3 jobs, like 2 of them minimum wage, one being a personal trainer, right? Keep in mind, I'm out of school. Like, I'm 22. I make, you know, I'll just be honest, I made 54 grand a year, you know, which is decent for my age, living in the southern United States, have my own place, own car. And she's telling me, like, I asked her about her student loan debts and like how she was going to pay for them. And she was like, well, I'm going to get my husband to pay for it, obviously. And I just, you know, I just kind of like repeated the question back to her. I was like, huh. So if we were dating seriously and I became your husband, you'd be expecting me to pay off your student loans? And she was like, no, who said we would ever go that far, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But that kind of shows you the typical mentality that a lot of the women in my age range have. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that was like kind of like a brutal awakening, I'd say. That's when I first kind of started to sense like, hey, you know, something's off. And I could list story after story, but I kind of just want to put this video out here because I haven't uploaded anything, and you know, I need to upload. So fuck it. Second video to the channel. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, you guys have enjoy the rest of your day.